The Grand Automotive Expo Hall was ablaze with lights and noise. Hosted by Techno Motors, the annual corporate event had drawn in engineers, investors, mechanics, and media professionals from across the country. But the biggest attraction this year was something new: Live Engine Assembly Challenge. At the center of the main hall stood a gleaming stage. On it lay the fully disassembled parts of a high-performance V8 engine. The challenge was clear: participants had to assemble the engine manually, no automation, no manuals, and make it roar to life. The fastest one would win. A quiet shadow in the corner. Away from the spotlight, in a quiet corner of the hall, a young woman in a janitor's uniform swept the floor. Her name was Zoya, 22 years old, with eyes that held wisdom far beyond her years and a silence that spoke volumes. For the past 6 months, Zoya had been working at Techno Motors as a cleaner. She arrived before sunrise, polishing every surface, every floor, every tool in the lab. But what most didn't notice was how she lingered afterward, quietly watching the engineers, absorbing everything like a sponge. Today, however, fate had a different plan. The challenge begins. Ladies and gentlemen, the announcer's voice echoed through the speakers. Get ready to witness the finest minds go head-to-head in our Live Engine Assembly Challenge. 4 engineers stepped onto the stage. Each was handed a standard tool kit. A countdown began. Spectators gathered. Cameras rolled. The energy was electric. From her corner, Zoya watched with intensity. Her eyes kept drifting to the tool kits, her fingers twitching slightly, as if itching to hold a wrench. Then, Mr. Shujadin, the CEO of Techno Motors, walked on stage. Known for his arrogance and cutting sarcasm, he glanced toward Zoya and smirked. Well, well. You seem very interested, he said into the mic, gesturing toward her. Care to give it a try? Maybe we'll discover a new engineer in our janitorial staff. The crowd burst into laughter. Zoya looked up, paused briefly, then calmly placed her broom aside and said, "Sure, sir. Challenge accepted." Silence fell over the room. Heads turned. Mr. Shujadin's smirk froze for a second, surprised by her confidence, but he nodded. First glimpse of true engineering. Zoya stepped onto the stage. She was handed a tool kit, just like the others. She sat down without a word, scanning the engine parts laid before her. There was no hesitation, no flashiness, just a quiet focus. The timer began. The engineers around her dove into action, flipping through diagrams on tablets, muttering calculations, selecting tools. Zoya. She simply picked up one part at a time, turned it over in her hands, studied it, then placed it in its exact position. Her fingers moved like they knew every groove, every bolt by heart. Soon, the audience began noticing her. One by one, eyes drifted to the girl in the janitor uniform. Within 20 minutes, Zoya's engine was nearly assembled. The others? Still midway. A roar of silence. At the 28-minute mark, Zoya tightened the last bolt, set her tools down, and calmly pressed the ignition switch. The engine roared to life, asterisk asterisk. The crowd gasped. The other engineers froze. The cameras zoomed in. A cleaner, a girl no one had ever seen speaking or even standing near a machine, had just beaten every expert in the room. Mr. Shujadin's face went pale. The story behind the silence. He picked up the mic, but this time his voice was hesitant. How did you? Zoya finally faced the crowd. Her voice was soft, but steady. My father was a village mechanic. When I was 7, I started helping him fix engines. After school, I'd spend all day with him, taking apart old motorcycles, rebuilding tractors. He used to say, understanding beats a degree, always. She paused. After he passed away, I had to drop out. Took this cleaning job to survive, but never stopped learning. The hall went silent. Then, thunderous applause erupted. An ending that was a beginning. Within days, the video went viral. Zoya became a symbol of raw talent, resilience, and passion. Millions were inspired by her story, a girl with no formal training who outshined the industry's best. Techno Motors board soon invited her back, not as a janitor, but as an official research assistant engineer. Even Mr. Shujadin, once mocking, now came to her for insights. And Zoya? She remained the same, humble, quiet, focused. But now the world finally saw the brilliance in those hands, hands that didn't just clean the floor, they rebuilt engines, dreams, and perceptions. Message ***. Never judge someone's potential by their job title or clothes. Sometimes, the quietest one in the room knows more than everyone else combined.